Authorities are searching for answers after the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but the shooter's motive is still unclear. Our own Stephanie Gosk has the latest on what we know.
Grainy video shows the shooter, Thomas Crooks, moments before he fired an AR-15 style rifle at Donald Trump.
Someone's on top of the roof. Look.
He does not go unnoticed.
He's on the roof!
According to two senior officials, local police officers saw Crooks on the rooftop, but couldn't stop him before he opened fire, injuring former President Trump. 50-year-old Corey Comparator, shielding his family from the gunfire, was killed. David Dutch and James Koppenhaver were critically wounded before a sniper team shot and killed Crooks. Among the many unanswered questions tonight, how did the 20-year-old get on that rooftop, and why wasn't it better secured? He had a vantage point just 148 yards from the podium where Trump was speaking. Snipers took up positions nearby, but the Secret Service says the rooftop was outside of their security perimeter. Crooks' father, who according to the FBI has been cooperating with the investigation, legally purchased the rifle his son used. And NBC News has learned Crooks purchased ammunition at this store near his home just hours before the rally. Senior officials say more than a dozen firearms were found while searching the family's home. After the shooting, they say his father called police, worried his son and an AR-style rifle were missing. Crooks graduated from community college and worked as a dietary aide at a nursing home. He was also a member of a shooting club at a firing range.
He was just a normal kid to me, walking around the neighborhood. I mean, he was just a bit odd, that's all.
But authorities still have not identified a motive, even after analyzing Crooks's cell phone, according to a senior law enforcement official, while the small rural town of Butler struggles with what happened here.
Ken Delaney, an NBC Justice and Intelligence correspondent, joins me now. Ken, good to see you, but obviously horrible news. Tell us more about this shooter, because his phone, as Stephanie Gosk's package just laid out, wasn't helpful. But we learned he purchased a ladder that day, that week. What do you know?
Good to see you, Stephanie. That's right. Our colleagues Tom Winter and Jonathan Dienst learned just this evening that the FBI found a receipt for a ladder purchased from Home Depot in the possession of the shooter. And obviously authorities are now investigating whether he brought that ladder to the scene and used it to access the roof. But the big picture here is, as you heard from Stephanie Gosk, 2 days after this incident and having accessed both his laptop and his cell phone, we're told, the FBI is no closer to determining a motive here. This is a really peculiar situation where you have this 20-year-old man who has very little social media profile, which is unusual in and of itself. And now they're looking at his private messages, and they still don't see any kind of motive here. And obviously reporters are interviewing friends and neighbors, and nobody's really coming up with anything. It's perplexing, Steph.
Our friend Carol Leonnig at the Washington Post pointed out that there have been investigations into Secret Service failures over the last 10 years and very clear recommendations laid out, but they haven't been implemented. How does that factor into what happens next, and why wouldn't they be implemented? You would think like this kind of advice is super important.
Well, I think accountability is coming for the Secret Service. You know, as little as we seem to know about the motive of the shooter, we're learning a lot about the scope of the security failure. You know, NBC News is reporting exclusively tonight that rally-goers warned local police about this shooter when he was acting suspiciously by the magnetometers, and then police flagged that to the Secret Service. That was some time before he got on the roof. So the Secret Service was aware that there was a suspicious person. Then you have these videos that surfaced today that show a significant delay between the time that people in the crowd were warning, hey, there's a guy with a gun, and the time that authorities did anything about it. And in fact, the Washington Post analyzed some of that video and found that there was an 85-second gap between the time people first flagged Crook on the roof and the time he began firing the shot. So this was a catastrophic failure. And what experts have told me is, you know, stepping back, it's unconscionable that that rooftop wasn't secured, wasn't covered, allowing the sniper to get an advantageous position, 148 yards and a clear shot at the former president. You know, the Secret Service director, Kimberly Cheadle, gave an interview to ABC News tonight, and she appeared to be sort of passing the blame to local police, saying that it was their job to secure that building. But what experts have told me is ultimately it's the Secret Service's job to protect the president, the former president. The buck stops with her. She acknowledged there was a security failure, but there are going to be multiple investigations to find out exactly what happened here, Steph.
Yeah, it may have been the local police's job, but it's the Secret Service's ultimate responsibility. She also said that they conducted a security review of the RNC and made changes to Donald Trump's security detail. What does that tell you?
It tells me that they are doubling down and making sure that something like this doesn't happen again, which is good. Also, you know, the RNC is a special security event, so it's about as secure a thing as you can have. It's the Secret Service, it's the FBI, it's everybody's brought to bear there. So the likelihood of something happening there and it's inside is pretty low. But what this event at the rally here and this attempted assassination of Donald Trump shows is that there are significant gaps in the Secret Service's protocols. If they're relying on local police and then not making sure that the local police are doing the basic things that need to be done, that's a big problem.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.